Keeping with our top story of TCS entering the $100 billion market cap club, we have another important voice connected to TCS's growth story joining in for his perspective. Phiroz Vandrevala, who's former non-executive director TCS, joins in with his reactions. Mr. Vandrevala, it's great to have you on the show. Quite a milestone day for TCS.
Absolutely. I mean, I was thinking when I got the call this morning that if I would be available, I was thinking of that day in August 2004 when we listed. So, yes, it's been a long journey.
Yeah, it's been a long journey. It's been a rewarding journey. But, Mr. Vandrevala, the only question then comes to mind is that what happens from here on? The stock, of course, has cooled off from its day's highs, but that doesn't take away from the story. We are looking at TCS being one of the most valuable companies in India. What does that reflect for TCS and the IT sector and the future for the space?
Well, TCS has been there before, so I don't think it's anything that's new. It's just that when we were 10 billion, we used to always say, when will it be 20? And I remember a few years ago at one of our internal events, Chandra, who was then the CEO, I presented that by 2020, we should hopefully be 100 billion. We hit it in 2018, so that's pretty good.
That's very interesting to know.
Yeah, in the sense that, we used to always sort of make predictions when we used to have our annual blitz and conferences where we get 700-800 people from across the world together in one place. We always talked about the future and some aspirations and where we were going. So I distinctly remember that we had thought it would be 100 billion latest by 2020. So it was certainly a milestone that was on the chart.
Vandrevala, could you look at the crystal ball and perhaps set out another aspiration on what should be the next level, the next target?
I did 35 years in TCS. Let other people look at the crystal ball now. But there's no reason why the company should not continue to grow. I mean, from whatever I've seen in the last year or two, when I haven't been physically there, everything looks good. The pipeline is good. There have been some significant deal signings that, one was involved with even just at the time when I was retiring. So there's no reason. And we've always maintained that the opportunities are limitless. I mean, we probably have just scratched the tip of the iceberg. So there's absolutely no reason why TCS cannot continue to grow.
It's really the pace of growth that matters, Mr. Vandrevala, from here. And I know TCS in its earnings call, in the management interaction, indicated to the market that, double-digit growth could be back on the table. I just want to give you another opinion. We spoke with Professor Ashwath Damodaran, who's, a noted professor on valuations. He's, of course, the professor of corporate finance at Stern Business School. And he was making the case about how Indian IT companies, including TCS, were in the earnings cycle at a mature stage, that they were aging companies, they'd matured to a level where you cannot expect the same pace of growth. So, yes, $100 billion is here, and you're saying that the company will continue to grow.
I am not a professor. I am not sitting here doing any charts or anything. I'm only going by history. When we were 10 billion, the next thing was, okay, now what? When it was 20 billion, now what? When it was 50 billion, now what? On this base, how difficult it is to, add growth. But fortunately, the company has. And we've been ahead of the market. And I'm very glad to hear that there is an optimism that there is potential to achieve double-digit growth. And if that optimism is there, I see absolutely no reason why the company will not achieve it.
100 billion now what, Mr. Vandrevala? Give us a number.
I'm saying double-digit growth, I'm saying.
Okay.
If the company achieves double-digit growth, then clearly, 100 billion is not a limitation in terms of market cap.
Yeah, that indeed is the case. And do you think that this would be reflected for the entire IT space? The story for the Indian outsourcing industry is far from over, that this could be just a new chapter?
TCS has always been. Where TCS goes, the rest of the industry goes. Whether it was in a market, it was in a new geography, in a new area of work. So if TCS is setting the standard and is achieving something like this, there's absolutely no reason why others in the IT industry can't follow.
Right. At the time that you stepped down, from that point, which is June of 2016 till now, there's been a fair amount of skepticism about, the global environment, which has supported the Indian outsourcing industry for long. Do you think that those headwinds are clearing out as well in a structural way, not just, in a manner which is technical?
I can't restrict myself to one day of, July 2016 or whatever. I can only base it on 35 years of being in the business. It was very normal and natural to continue to have headwinds, and you have to deal with them. I mean, a U.S. election comes, there's a headwind. Something else happens, there's a headwind. But at the same time, I mean, the business model, I think, is well established. The value that TCS and the industry brings to business is well established. We are well entrenched with different clients who are massive corporations the world over. So there's no reason why. I can't predict on what the growth rate will be, but I can't see any reason why the model should not continue to succeed.
I think what worked for TCS is a professional management structure throughout. I mean, since the company came to the bourses, it's had a professional management and independent management, essentially steering the course for the business.
So that's always been the case. So, I mean, there's no,
No, in comparison to the industry, because we know what's happened with Infosys, and which is perhaps pegged back Wipro as well.
I don't know. I would not like to comment, but clearly any company that has professional management should do well. I mean, no question.
Absolutely. Mr. Vandrevala, any message that you would want to send out to shareholders, because they're an excited lot as well. Their conviction in the story is played out.
Shareholders, my days of speaking to shareholders are over. All I can say is that they've had a good run, and I don't believe there's any reason why they won't continue to do so.
Thanks very much, Mr. Vandrevala, for joining us and sharing with us your reactions. Appreciate it. Okay, let's keep it with that story, get you some more analysis. I think Vivek joins in to take us through the journey. Vivek?
Well, once we came into today and we expected TCS to actually go ahead and hit the $100 billion mark. What's very interesting is the fact that, TCS...
Okay.